guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to present the Tier 8 German premium light tank, one of the oldest ones in World of Tanks, the M41 Bulldog 90mm. It is a Bulldog but with higher alpha damage than compared to its American Tech Tree counterpart. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. In addition to this, you can now also support me on Patreon, so feel free to follow this link and become a patron. And now, let's go. The Bulldog is a pretty old premium tank and nowadays not the most competitive one anymore. However, it does certainly have its strength, and played correctly, it is still a lot of fun. As far as I think it is compared to the HWK, the better looking tank, I would say. Talking about its brother, the HWK 30, let's see how it compares when it comes to statistics. So if we now compare the Bulldog to the HWK 30 and the HWK 12, so the premium version and then the Tech Tree version, you can see that this tank actually has the highest firepower, the highest DPM of those three tanks. And the shell velocity is, it's a little bit low, however not as low as on the HWK 12, but lower compared to the HWK 30. Now, gun handling wise, all three tanks are comparable. The Bulldog has the best aim time, however slightly worse dispersion values. And then mobility wise, I would say same spiel, it is the fastest tank. However, the power to weight ratio is much lower compared to the HWK 30 and also the HWK 12. So I would say it has the worst mobility and it feels a little bit sluggish when accelerating. Now, armor-wise, all of those tanks do not have any armor. However, the armor is at least slightly better compared to the two other German tanks. And then when it comes to view range, the German light tanks are not the best ones. However, the German Bulldog is actually the worst one with 14.19er camo compared to the HWK 30 and 12. Now keep in mind that the shell cost, so the cost of the ammunition, is the lowest on the M41 Bulldog, and so it's a good credit maker in my opinion. Oh, and by the way, the view range is better on the HWK 30 and on the HWK 12. So spotting wise, this tank does have a disadvantage, and so all in all, it is a bit worse compared to the HWK 30. Now, if you select the HE ammunition on all of the three tanks, then you can see that the DPM is further increased. 3000 base DPM with its HE ammunition is superb for a Tier 8 light tank. And keep in mind that the Tech Tree tank does not have the insanely good penetration value of 102mm. Obviously the rest of the stats are the same, so in my opinion those tanks are still comparable. However, spotting wise, the HWK 30 is a bit better, and so the M41 Bulldog is a little bit outdated. I would actually not buff it with view range or with camo value, but instead I would buff its engine power, so giving it a better power to weight ratio, but that's just how it is. So how do I play this tank? Well, as you can see, my crew is pretty experienced. They have brothers in arms, then the camo skill, and then my commander is working on recon, as you can see, 88% trained. Then the rest of the crew is working on the gun handling stats, and then my loader is working on intuition, which is already at 48%. Now, what equipment do I use? I am using the commander's vision system on the bonus slot, and then I'm also using low noise exhaust system and the coated optics in order to create a let's say a spotting setup. And as you can see, concealment is 35, which is pretty good, I would say. View range is only 458 meters. However, I get all the bonuses of the commander's vision system, so the concealment of enemy vehicles behind foliage is decreased, and then also the concealment of moving enemy vehicles is decreased. So yeah, this is the setup. I use a bit of standard ammunition, only 10 times the heat ammunition, because I want to focus on spotting, but then I'm using 13 times the high explosive with its 102 millimeters of penetration, which is pretty nice with its 320 alpha damage. Talking about field modification, quick answer, just select whatever you like. However, the most critical point is to achieve level 3, because with level 3 you can get an additional configuration. And so my recommendation is, as soon as you have unlocked level 3, set up one spotting configuration like I did, and then one, let's say, firepower configuration for battles, let's say at Himmelsdorf or in other city maps, so that you can make use of the good firepower of this tank. Now, another thing which is very useful is obviously the second bonus slot, which you can unlock on with level 6. Alright, first game in the M41 Bulldog. We're spawning on Overlord, and as usual, let's take a look at the map. Spawning on Overlord in the south, the situation usually looks like this, and with the light tank, what I usually like to do is go to this position here and try to outspot enemy tanks which are playing here on the 7, 8 and 9 lane. I think that the 0 lane is a bit too aggressive, and I think that the rest of the map does not offer a good possibility for a light tank. Alright, so this is exactly what I want to do. Now, we have one artillery in the game, and we are fighting against 2 light tanks, and now, as we're fighting against the ELC even 90, chances are that he is able, or this player is able to outspot us. So we have to be carefully in our, let's say, first minutes of the game until we know where he actually is playing. Now, I'm always knocking down this tree. Now, this is extremely important. Let's pause here real quick. This is extremely important because the correct gameplay, or one, let's say, a good gameplay, a decent gameplay from the other spawn is for medium tanks to proceed like this and getting crossfire to the tanks which are playing here. Now, what I want to do with knocking down the tree is making sure that I get the first spot advantage on any tank which is playing here, because there's no bush here. And so this is why I'm knocking down this tree, which is once again extremely important. Now I also want to knock out, here you go, here's the ELC even 90, the other tree, just because I want to get some additional cover and help me to outspot the other light tank on the other side of the map. Yes, it is dangerous because with a knockdown tree, the enemy team knows that we have tanks in this position, but this position is obvious anyways, and good players will blind fire this position anyways. So what I want to do is, okay, looks like the LT432 is playing very aggressively. Here you go. And I want to just, yeah, try to support him and get shots on the opponent tanks. Now, you see me reversing as soon as I have fired, because anytime I have to consider that I will get spotted as soon as I squeeze out a shot, and so I fall back into cover not to get shot by the enemy team. Now the LT432 was way too aggressive, and here you go. I have not been spotted, but the enemy artillery driver is obviously a good player, and so he took our position under fire. Now, for all of you who like to see stats, let's take a look at the weaponry. Now this tank has a pretty decent damage per minute, 2275 base DPM, 240 alpha damage is also decent for a light tank. 182 millimeters penetration is a little bit lackluster. However, that is pretty typical for a light tank, and this tank has pretty nice HE ammunition, 102 millimeters of penetration with 320 millimeters, 320 alpha damage, and so the strength of this tank is definitely its HE ammunition. Now dispersion is yeah, not too good, 0.36 base dispersion. However, the other dispersion values are pretty good. And the shell velocity is what limits this tank, or what balances this tank. Only 830 for the regular ammunition. So, and as you can see, the HE ammunition, the shell velocity of the HE ammunition is even lower. So yeah, I would say good firepower on this light tank, and 240 alpha damage is a pretty solid advantage over the other Bulldogs in the game. So the tier 8 tech tree Bulldog and also the premium Chinese Bulldog. Now, talking about mobility, 72 kph top speed is pretty good for a light tank. However, this tank only has a power to weight ratio of 22.5, so the acceleration is not the best one. This tank only has 8 degrees of gun depression, only because the other light tanks, as you saw in the statistic comparison, have more gun depression, but that's just how it is. Now, as you can see, our team managed to win the beach, and so we want to get incorporated in their attack, and now we want to play more aggressive. As you can see, 7-3, so it looks like the game is already won, so we want to advance and now trade our hit points. Here you go, too bad. So let's repair the tracks, because I want to get as much damage as possible on the VK4502 Alpha. So let's use auto aim, and let's just let's just circle him. So that is what you should let's say have as a have in your repertoire. So this is also what I mean with the circle of death. For example, in my lighting tutorials, and by the way, if you haven't seen them already, just check out those videos. They are, in my opinion, pretty helpful. So what we want to do is we want to drive back into cover and then advance to get as much assisting damage as possible. So yeah, but let's take a look at the rest of the stats. So obviously no armor at all. 1100 HP is pretty decent for a light tank, for a tier 8 light tank. For example, the ELC Even 90 only has 900 HP. So another advantage of this tank. Now, the camo value is not the best one, and you saw that this tank has the worst camo value of all German tier 8 light tanks. However, it is not too bad either. And then new range of 400 meters is pretty good in the light tank comparison. However, not as good as on the HWK30 and also the tech tree variant of the German tech tree, so the HWK12. So yeah, all in all, I must say the biggest drawback in my opinion is the bad acceleration of the M41 Bulldog, the German Bulldog, I should say. But all in all, the tank is still pretty competitive in my opinion, and it is fun to play in my opinion. Plus, I just think that this tank looks pretty cool. So yeah, I cannot say anything bad about this tank. The acceleration value could be better, but besides that, the tank is, in my opinion, fun to play. The biggest advantage compared to the American tech counterpart is its 240 alpha damage, which makes it much easier for trading on tier 8. Alright, perfect. So in the first game we made 2600 damage, 1200 assisting damage, so 3.8k combined. In my opinion, a decent result, and let's now move on to the next game. Okay, second game in the light battle tank M41 90mm. This is what lekpz means. We are spawning on Pilsen in an encounter mode, and as usual, let's take a look at the map. Spawning on Pilsen in the north in an encounter battle. The battle usually looks like this, and with the light tank, what I want to do is I want to go to the middle in this position, because in this position I can spot tanks which are proceeding on the zero lane. I can also get crossfire to the cap circle, which is here, and the position here is much less dangerously compared to the zero lane, because once you are spotted on the zero lane, you can get taken under fire by all of the enemy teams, tanks, sorry, and you can get taken out pretty easily. Okay, so this is what I am going to do. Now, the mediocre acceleration does not help me out. However, what helps me out is the good top speed. Now, what we have to do in a light tank at the beginning of the game is we have to assess the strength of the enemy light tanks. Now, they have an ELC even 90, nice, which is spotted and which does make the mistake to go to the heavy lane, so he might get taken out soon. Now, we only have to fight against the LT-432, and I think my first shot should be an AP ammunition if he peeks out here. Let's see, but I want to preload HE. Maybe I can use it. Okay, looks like the ELC even 90 actually managed to get away with his risky move. And chances are that, oh, here you go. LT-432 is spotted in an unusual position. Now, obviously, I get spotted here. Yep, I do. But that's how it is. So we just want to play patiently and see what I can do. You know what? I think it is time for an aggressive move. Now, let's pause you real quick and let's explain my aggressive move. Now, you can play aggressively and move to this position, so to proxy spot all the tanks which are here. Now, this P44 is encountered in a fight with the WoT, so he will most likely not pay attention towards us. The LT-432 is behind the building, so we are safe from him. Now, the SHPTK was spotted here, and so yes, chances are that the Scorpion, the Stritzwagen, and the T28 prototype are in this position. However, I think I would have spotted at least the T28 prototype because it's a very slow tank. Now, I want to make this risky move and push down here because I think it might be beneficial for our team. Plus, our team already advanced to this position, so chances are that maybe some tanks here are now focusing to move down here. So I think it is a good opportunity to move towards this position. You certainly only want to do this move if you have your repair kit available. Here you go. Fortunately, here you go. Look at this. Nice. We light him up. Excellent. And he's taken out. So 771 spotting damage. Now, we were lucky, as you can see, because with if the Rheinmetall Borsig would have penetrated us, we would actually be down to one-shottable for sure, maybe taken out of the game. But we were lucky. So this has been a risky move, and it will certainly not work all the time like it did in this situation. But now we are in a pretty good... Okay, I think I cannot shoot through this train. But now let's see. Here you go. Nice. I'm not sure if my HE is able to penetrate the side of the P44 once it is, or when it is angled like this. So this is why I used AP, but now I want to use HE for the Czechoslovakian Tier 8 tank destroyer. Nice. The Scorpion is unable to actually hit him. Possibly bad ING. And now, as you can see, we have map control. The enemy team is in this quadrant of the map, so we want to be the first one of our team to spot the remainder of the enemy tanks. So we have to advance somewhat aggressively, but also obviously cautiously on the other hand, to not get taken out of the game. But we certainly want to be the first tank spotting all the other enemy tanks. So let's go like this, and let's use this building here. Go. Can we get a shot on the... I think we should get a shot. Here you go. Yeah, we should get a shot maybe with... Okay, HE. When this penetrating an obstacle loses its penetration value, and so the remainder of the penetration value was not able to penetrate the Emil 1. Let's see, but with the regular AP ammunition, yeah, here you go. If you fully aim in your shots, then the unprecise gun, let's say somewhat unprecise gun with the .36 stock dispersion is actually not too bad. Let's see. In this case, best thing for me would be a firepower setup. And go. Nice. So yeah, now excellent. We made. Let me see. Nice. 1,400 damage so far. Perfect. You know what? Maybe we can finish him off. No, but you know what? We should advance in order to spot the remainder of the enemy team. Nice. So let's keep moving. Okay, at least we spotted those tanks. Nice. And so we get all the sweet spotting damage. So in a situation like this, where a team, where the battle is already won, you have to make sure that you are the first one spotting the remainder of the enemy team, because you want to be the tank which is collecting all the sweet assisting damage. So okay, but we can even, here you go, penetrate the rear of the T-28 prototype. And so yeah, nice. We made almost 2,000 damage, 2,900 assisting damage. So all in all, about 2.9k combined damage, which is once again a decent result. Let's see if we can get a shot. No, we cannot. So yeah, 4.9k damage combined. Another decent result in the German Bulldog. Alright, third and last game in the German Bulldog. This time we are spawning on Malinoka in a tier 10 matchup. However, as we have an open map, this is not too much of a problem. But first of all, let's take a look at the map. Spawning on Malinoka in the north, the situation usually looks like this, and with the light tank you have several options. First of all, you can go here, however you will most likely only spot those tanks here, maybe the light tank which is most likely positioned over here. You can go and play here very aggressively, however you will not spot a lot of tanks, plus you are vulnerable to enemy fire. So what I like to do is I like to sneak into this bush line, because from here I can spot all those tanks here and support my team. Okay, so this is exactly what we are going to do. As you can see, I preloaded HE because I will have to deal with maybe 2 light tanks, and those tanks are French, the ELC even 90 and the MX 3090, and I will not have any problems penetrating them with my 102mm of penetration. So I can cause 320 alpha damage instead of only 240. So yeah, we go into this position, and now we are managing to spot all the enemy tanks. Even the light tank, the AMX 3090, looks like he doesn't have the best crew. And so yeah, nice, very nice. 1,800 spotting damage at the very first minute of the game, and it is very crucial if you are playing this position to not shoot and to not tell the enemy tanks where you are positioned. So as long as you do not shoot, you can stay safe in this bush line and spot the southern part of the map. Now, once again, I could shoot, however then I would uncover my position, and this is not what I want to do. Instead, I just want to play passive on this map, and we have all the time. Now, playing in a light tank, you should definitely have the patience to sit in a spot, and while conducting passive spotting is not the best choice on any map, here on Malinoka it is certainly a very decent option in the south. So we already made 4,700 spotting damage with this position, which is excellent, but I still... Okay, now looks like our team, as you can see, is making pressure, so I certainly also want to make pressure. And what you should do in your light tank is you should make sure that you are spotting for your team. This does not mean that you should waste your tank, but you should be the first tank. You should be at the very forefront in order to collect all the sweet spotting damage for your team. And so this is exactly what we are going to do. And now we want to sneak into this bush. And we want to keep, first of all, the T110E3 spotted so that he can, so that this tank can get taken under fire by our team. So very carefully, here you go. We're spotting the Scorpion G. Nice, and we even get this spotting damage. Very sweet. So as you can see, our view range is enough to uncover the Scorpion G. And looks like our team is helping us out. 5,200. Nice. 5,600 spotting damage. And as long as we are keeping the T110E3 lit, our team can take it under fire. And as he's not able to play hull down, so they can get shots at least with premium ammunition to the lower plate of the tier 10 American tank destroyer. Now, looks like we also spotted the Stritzwagen. Let's see. So we want to be, once again, patient. Here you go. Okay, the ELC even 90. Okay, be patient. Don't shoot too early. Is the message. Looks like he is running away. Looks like he also might not have the best crew, maybe. But this is also where the equipment helps me out. So setting this tank up as a light tank with all the equipment is beneficial on an open map. Looks like the ELC even 90 is making pressure, but I can fall back into cover like this very quickly, and so I can take a shot now. Here you go. Nice. So he's now one shot. Very good. And he cannot hide because remember, we have crossfire from our Scorpion G and from the GSO maybe, so but the enemy team, we are safe basically from the enemy team behind this building, so that is not a problem at all. And nice, he's taken out 6,100 spotting damage. Excellent result. And looks like our team is making pressure in the north. So while the game is very close, at least tank wise, we are 4,000 hit points in advance, and looks like we're going to win. But I want to wait until the T110E3 is knocked out, and then we have two options. We could go all the way back here, but I think we are only losing time because it's now 7-4. But instead I want to sneak my way down here. Yes, it is more aggressive, more dangerous way, but yeah, as the 121B is making pressure and as the Stritzwagen 103 is advancing, I certainly want to once again spot for my team. The problem here on Malinoka in the south is that after you've won this portion of the map, it is pretty difficult to sneak up here because there's not much cover. There's not a constant tree line in which you could sneak forward, but yeah, that's just how it is. So 340 damage, 6,100 spotting damage, and now I want to wait until maybe the object 268 also advances. Okay. I think I will go to the right and, yep, hide behind the building. And maybe we should just use our hit points now in order to press forward and spot as much as we can of the enemy team. I'm a little bit worried because it's now 8-6, so as soon as all the enemy guns are not taken out of the game, yeah, do yours, M41, yep, I will try to, and maybe I can play a little bit hull down, stay safe here. The problem is that, nice, we spot the E, maybe we can go into this bush. Maybe, we are spotted. Oh damn it, we are spotted, so we need to, okay. Okay, yeah, unfortunately we got spotted, so that's just how it is. Maybe, yeah, but we get another spotting damage. Nice, and now it's 10-7, and yeah, our team is going to win the game, I believe. And it's yeah, overall we did 7,000, approximately 7,500 damage combined, 7,200 damage, 7,200 spotting damage. And yeah, our team is winning the game, and another excellent result in the M41. So this tank is actually not too bad. Yes, the power to weight ratio is a little bit lackluster compared to its tier 8 premium counterpart, but all in all, First of all, I think it's the more pretty tank. It is, in my opinion, prettier compared to the HWK-30. But then again, it is certainly not a bad tank, even though it is one of the oldest German light tanks. And yeah, I can really recommend this tank, to be quite honest. Alright guys, that was it for today with a little video about the M41 Bulldog 90mm. What do you think about this tank? Do you like it? Do you think it is still competitive? And what do you think about its brother, the HWK-30? Should the German Bulldog be buffed? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.